want to talk about a particular gym accessory today, a tool of the trade, if you will. There are a few things that I never go to the gym without. There's the staple water bottle, of course. There's weightlifting gloves. I use these all the time because I have fairly dainty little hands, so I like to protect them. What I really want to focus on today, though, are the lifting straps, because the other two you know how to use. These are a little more ambiguous, so to speak. So the purpose of these are you put them around your wrist like so, cinch them up tight. You've got a little tail here. You can wrap this around the bar to give you some extra gripping strength. So if I'm doing deadlifts, for example, I can concentrate on performing the movement correctly and not worry so much about whether I'm holding onto the bar tight enough to keep from dropping it. So if your grip is weak, you can certainly work on strengthening that, but you don't necessarily want to have to worry about your grip strength while you're performing back exercises like a row or a pull down or a pull up. So you can do that separately and use the straps to help you really feel it in your back while you're trying to work your back. So these particular straps are a little old and busted. It's time to retire these, so I have some new ones here. The packaging for these straps invariably leaves out one very important thing, and that's instructions, how to use them. You know, they're not the most complicated item on earth, but it is very easy to use them incorrectly. I was using straps incorrectly for a couple years before somebody in the gym was nice enough to take pity on me and tell me how to use them correctly. So I will save you that unfortunate situation, and let's talk about that today. How to get these set up and how to use them properly so you can kind of practice at home a little bit before you go to the gym, so you don't necessarily have to flounder around the bar trying to get them all set up. You'll go to the gym the first time trying to use these looking like a pro. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have here inside this package. I pull this out and I have two identical pieces of material here, two identical straps. This particular brand of strap, it features this rubber striping that goes along the inside here for some extra grip. It kind of shows as a lighter gray color here. Also towards the wrist section here, you can kind of see it. It's kind of hard to see. There's some extra padding here where your wrist goes. So this is to keep the fabric from digging into your wrist. So a little extra comfort there. So what we need to do is get these set up so that one of these is going to be on the left hand and one's going to be on the right hand. They're identical, so we're just going to make that determination based on how we fold these things and get them into position. So you can see at one end there is a little loop here. That's where we can feed the other end of the strap through. So let's fold these guys over on their back so that the outside is exposed, and keeping that rubber striping layer down so the inside is going to stay down on the table. We're going to fold this to the outside here and put one end through the loop on the other end. Same with the other one, to the outside, keeping that one side facing down, just like that. So now we've got one of these set up for the left and one set up for the right. We need to know which is which though. So let's feed a little bit more of these through and cinch them up here, and we can kind of see what we're looking at here. So what you want to do is just put your hand through one of them. So I'm going to put my fingers through like this, cinch it up, and I can see I picked correctly right here. So this is the one for the right hand. I can tell that because the tail, that's this extra little piece of material hanging out here, it's parallel to my thumb. So as my palm and my thumb extend away from my hand, if the tail follows it, that's correct. Incorrect would be this. If I pull it through and cinch it tight, you can see now the tail is perpendicular to my thumb. So that's not correct. This is the one for the left hand. So I'm going to put that over here. And this one for the right hand. So I'm good to go. Both of the tails are parallel to both my thumbs, so I could walk into the gym just like this and be set up, ready to go. So the only thing that I might want to do is practice a little bit, maybe at home, because it is kind of tricky. You know, you're affixing your hands to the bar, so to speak. So you can certainly get the first one set up with a little bit of practice, but then you've got to get the second one set up while your first hand is already attached to the bar, so you've got to do it one-handed. So a little bit of practice might be in order. So I have grabbed a piece of our vacuum cleaner hose here, just because it's about the right diameter to practice on. What I'll do, let me just simulate what I want my grip to look like. Let's say I want to do an exercise where I've got both my hands in an overhand grip. So my fingers are going around the top of the bar, which means the strap needs to come in the other direction. So it needs to come from underneath the bar. You can see how that works right there. So really it's just kind of a matter of practice. Once you get that set, you know, if your fingers go over, the strap goes under. Conversely, if I was going to go with an underhand grip, the strap would have to go over the bar. So they're always approaching the bar from different sides, just like that. So really it's just a matter then of trying to figure out how to work this thing so that you can cinch the strap up and get the point where the tail feeds through the loop close to the bar, so it's not, you know, far away like this, because that's not really doing you any good. You see all the space in there between my wrist and the bar, and that there's some slack in here. That's not good. It's got to be nice and tight. So if I go back to my overhand grip, I can work just by pulling on the tail with my loose, my index finger and thumb, so it's nice and tight, and then work on wrapping that around the bar. This is the thing that really just does take a little bit of practice, and you know, I'd recommend trying your first hand just by itself. I could certainly assist with this hand, but then with this hand, I'm going to need to do that by itself since the other one's already attached to the bar. So, as you can see, with a little bit of practice, it really becomes second nature. So you can get yourself strapped into whatever bar you want to use for a pull-up, pull-down, a deadlift, and just get ready to rock. And then you don't have to worry about your grip. You can worry about that on another day.